How's it going, everybody? Ni hao, and welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and today we'll be talking about Holochain. This is a very important cryptocurrency to talk about, in part because of where we're headed now in 2020. And more importantly, one of the most important things happening, I would say, right now is the evolution of the internet and where we're actually going to see the evolution of the internet take us from here moving forward. And at this point, I mean, we're watching very closely the events that are happening with big tech, trust busting, all these different conversations, monopoly or what have you. We really are sort of reaching a breaking point, and I think that cryptocurrency is going to either be the solution to the problem, or it's only going to further escalate a lot of the different problems. So I think that Holochain is a good branch to basically explore when we want to talk about a more peer-to-peer internet. This is important to bring up, in terms of discussion when we want to just talk about what recently happened with, a massive deletion of cryptocurrency content off of YouTube, which has pretty much sent a scare through the, cryptocurrency-related community. Definitely very interesting stuff to see happening. And of course, just taking a step back and looking at it from a more objective standpoint. I don't think that it was at all much of a surprise for anybody seeing this sort of thing happening. But of course, it is important to be prepared, and I think that it's important to talk about, individual authorities, having that much power over data sharing, and that sort of agent-centric view. And I think that it'll be interesting to see true decentralization. And I think that Holochain, look no further when we want to talk about decentralization. So overall, I want to definitely branch out and talk about more of these different aspects and dynamics that really do go beyond the ideas that are commonly talked about in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, people, for the most part, when they talk about Bitcoin and when they talk about cryptocurrency, they're for the most part interested in investing and all these other things. But I think Holochain, in particular, does speak towards a solution to a problem that's either going to be what I would consider probably one of the greatest concerns of the 21st century. I mean, some people out there might say that something like global warming or whatever is a concern, but realistically, internet freedom, communication, and truth, I would say, are probably more in alignment with bigger concerns than all these different made up problems that people propose because when it really comes down to it, what we're going to actually have to face is sources of information, and the real truth of who is actually giving you the information, and the ability, peer to peer, and all these different things are important aspects that I would say, a more human internet, especially as we see the Internet of Things, as we see the conversation that's happening right now, which has largely died down, but is still more important now than ever. Ownership of data, control of your identity, connect applications, especially while we're going to be seeing the Internet of Things, 5G, and all these other aspects of the space continuing to make a lot of these different pushes forward. So this is definitely a very interesting piece of content to put out there. In particular, while we're looking at, in 2020, we'll be seeing Facebook making further moves with Libra. And of course, the failures that they've reached up until this point, and the large list of laundry list of issues. But still, I mean, and even moving forward, looking at it moreover as less of an investment, and more from a philosophical point of view, I would say that Holochain does represent, potential solutions to people if people could, have that forward-thinking capability at this point. Now, of course, remember this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. In no way am I telling you what to do with your investments. I mean, that's all up to you. Remember, I'm not your dad. This content does come as a educational sort of perspective, but at the same time, I don't mind sharing my individualistic sort of philosophies when it comes to these different things. But Holo acquires Holo community and collaboration software. So we're excited to announce that Holo has recently acquired the Holo software product. Of course, has been building tools to support collaboration within and between communities and networks for many years. Holo, the flagship platform, was created to support people solving the great challenges of our time and empowering communities to build a world that works for everyone. It has been used by communities in over 80 countries around the world. Holo has many features we are thrilled to take advantage of that will benefit Holo and our global community equally. So now this is interesting. This will be a pretty big, I think that this is definitely a step forward, and a lot of people wanted me to speak upon this thing, and I think overall it'll be interesting, encouraging collaboration between communities and a key part of our organizational DNA. And we've acquired Holo to extend the intention throughout the Holo and Holochain ecosystem. So that'll be exciting. Holochain developers growing as a vibrant and self-sustained community. It is a healthy cryptocurrency community, I would say, in particular, surrounding itself around Holochain. So it will be interesting to see where these things go. A tweet by Holochain read thus: number 6, crude operations, modifying and deleting data. Holochain allows agents to, it is interesting. I mean, you guys can check it out for yourself, but at the same time, I'm very excited to see where a lot of these different things are going to go. Especially in a time where there's so much anxiety that people have over where we're actually going to see the future of the internet. It's changed so much just in this decade alone, and afraid to say that if people don't take action now, blockchain's not going to save you. It really does go beyond blockchain to a large extent, and I'm happy to be the person to be sort of the canary in the coal mine as much as possible. But it really does ultimately come down to you, the viewer, and the power that you have. I mean, whatever part of the world you are in, of course, I'd encourage everybody, just comment down below letting me know what country you're actually watching this from. I find that fascinating. It's sort of an open thing that I would like to do, just to really helps connect the community to, if you're from Canada or Honolulu or wherever in the world. Be interesting to hear. Russia, a lot of the viewers I heard are from China as well, which is why I start the video off by saying ni hao now, just because I want to be more inclusive, and make people feel like this is a community that brings people together. But Holochain ecosystem, so interface design will give a kickstart to the design language. Definitely the UI gives a useful and neat, ready-to-use framework. Therefore, they help develop and improve relationships between communities. Attempts to create an autonomous internet. So this is really what I wanted to talk about. Overview of Threefold Foundation. So Threefold is a project working to build a distributed, natural, and sustainable internet infrastructure. The current World Wide Web has become clustered around data centuries, is inefficient and vulnerable to user privacy issues. Right now, technology infrastructures is providing by a few big corporations like Amazon Web Service, Alibaba Cloud, or DigitalOcean, among others. Tackling these issues of centralized data centuries powering the entire internet. The paradigm is shifting towards a decentralized autonomous web. So, I mean, yeah, definitely go and check out this article as well. I think that there could be some big potential, even potential for like a bull run, in the investment language, towards Holochain, and I think that this video does speak to a lot of those different points. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this content. Remember to subscribe, comment down below, let me know what country you guys are watching this from. What do you think? about my perspective on these things. Always interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But all that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this content. I'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.